groups. Speaker, isn't it a great thing when a political party maintains its promises? And this legislation that is moving through the House tonight is an indication of the National Party bringing into fruition those things that it campaigned on. Because what we know is this, is that when we campaign, for instance, on people on benefits being able to earn $100 a week before the benefit abated, that is what we're moving through the House tonight. And what we know is that those members on the other side of the House never did that. And they had the opportunity to do that. They had a long and substantial opportunity to do that. They had 9 years to do that, and they didn't bother. And yet tonight they stand and they try and castigate the National Party for bringing into fruition exactly that they campaigned upon. And they didn't bother. And the reason why they didn't bother is I don't believe that they cared enough to do that one little thing. It wouldn't have been much. They passed a number of other pieces of legislation. They brought a number of bills before the House which was to enact those things that they had campaigned on during the course of their campaign in 1999, in 2002 and in 2005, but they didn't bother to do this one little thing, and you have to ask why. And they have never, ever provided an answer. And I look forward to the next calls, but they never, ever have provided an answer to us as to why they didn't bother to do that. Another thing that we campaigned on was this. We campaigned on a regime that would see those parents, those solo parents, who are receiving the domestic purposes benefit, and so we should. I don't see that as magnanimous. I see that as sensible and practical. Those parents who are the parents of children who are over the age of 6 would need to present for some work. If there were jobs available, and if it was within their capability to do so, that they would have to work for some of the time. And it's been very interesting to note that during the course of the Select Committee debates and listening to submissions on this, so many of those submitters have come forward in opposition to this bill, and those members on the other side of the House have said this is an incredibly mean thing to do because we're depriving those children over the age of 6 of their parents, and saying that this was an incredibly harsh thing, an incredibly punitive thing to do. And what they didn't realise is that the vast majority of solo parents of children over the age of 6, with their youngest over the age of 6, work voluntarily. And so what they are saying vicariously then is that any parent, any solo parent particularly, who has a youngest child over the age of 6 and who works must be a bad parent. And it's an absolutely stupid thing, a stupid position to be in to suggest that. Because everybody knows that work is a good thing. Work to the maximum of your potential, as long as it doesn't detract from your ability to parent or to care and to love and to nurture those ones that are closest around you and those that rely on you, is essentially a good thing. For a number of years I worked as a small town policeman in Pārtea, and I watched those families then who had grown up under a regime after the works closed where they didn't see mum and dad tipping out of bed in the morning and going somewhere to work. And the single thing that made me leave my support of the Labour Party and join the National Party was in 1987 when the then Labour Minister of Labour, Richard Prebble, decided that unemployment had grown so big that it was easier to just say, OK, we'll just pay them the benefit and we won't bother making them turn up for work under the PEP scheme. And those members opposite, large number of them were senior members of the Labour Party at that time, and some of them campaigned in 1990 in support of all those policies from 1984 through to 1990 that did that. And what that did exactly what our colleague David Garrett said. It just relegated those people to collateral of the unemployment system. It said what we've heard many, many times over the course of this debate. There are no jobs, so we shouldn't try. Well, what a load of rubbish. All that does is relegate people who want to work, who have aspirations for a better future, to get on and do for them and their families. But the other side of the House says, nah, not good enough, we shouldn't try, they are just collateral of a system that we don't support, so we're going to vote against that. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, our party believes, and those who support this bill believes, that these people are people we were elected to this House to represent. We were elected with a very strong mandate to fulfil the manifesto that we campaigned on, and I am very, very proud to be part of a government who is doing what it promised, and I stand in support of this bill and I commend it to the House.
Dr. Rajan Prasad.